Hello friends. Welcome in our YouTube channel. In today's video, we will inform you of all the facts of the movie Sinners 2025. In this video, we will inform you of all the details, such as film characters, effects, artists, film budget, and box office. If you are new on our channel, the channel will subscribe and support. Let's grow up toward the movie's review. In 1932 Mississippi, Sammy Moore staggers to his father's church with a large claw mark on his face. He clings to a broken guitar neck. Claiming that music has dangerous supernatural power, his father asks him to give up music and repent. Day prior, Sammy's cousins, Smoke and Stack, identical twins and World War I veterans, returned to Mississippi after several years in Chicago. They explained to their old friends that Chicago is not the racial paradise they were hoping for. Using money they stole from Chicago gangsters, they buy a sawmill from racist landowner Hogwood, planning to start a juke joint for the local black community. They recruit guitarist Sammy, piano and harmonica player Delta Slim, and singer Pearline. They also hire Smoke's estranged wife Annie and Delta Chinese shopkeepers Grace and Bo Chow to cater opening night. Stack awkwardly reunites with his ex-girlfriend Mary, who passes white but is secretly 1/8 black. Mary is upset that Stack abandoned her to go north. Stack responds that it is not practical for a white woman to marry a black man. Smoke argues with Annie about her interest in the occult. Annie claims that her rituals kept the twins safe, but Smoke responds that their infant daughter still died. Remick, an Irish immigrant on the run from roving Choctaws, bribes Klansmen Bert and Joan for refuge before turning them into vampires. It turns out the Choctaws were actually vampire hunters. The juke bar opens to a loud and joyful crowd. The trusting Stack and the compassionate Annie cajole the cynical Smoke into giving discounts to customers who cannot afford to pay more. Sammy's music performance entrances the crowd, transcending time and conjuring spirits from the past and future, unbeknownst to himself and the crowd. This catches the attention of Remick, Bert, and Joan, who arrive and offer money for entry. Smoke and Stack sense something is wrong, but Mary offers to speak with the trio as the bar needs the money. Remick turns her into a vampire. She returns to the bar, seduces Stack, and bites him, seemingly killing him. Smoke shoots her, but Mary is unaffected by the bullets and runs outside. Annie convinces Smoke to evacuate the bar, but this allows the vampires to turn the patrons. Bo agrees to pick up a getaway vehicle, but is turned too. The bar staff learn that vampires cannot enter a human building without an invitation. Stack revives as a vampire, but Annie forces him to flee with pickled garlic juice. Annie teaches the staff that only a wooden stake or silver can kill vampires, and gives Smoke a talisman to ward off the vampires. Remick tries to cut a deal with the staff, explaining that he is not racist like the Klan and values Sammy's supernatural musical skills. He argues that vampirism will give the staff immortality, power, community, and freedom from racial persecution. He also warns Smoke that if he does not accept the vampires' help, Hogwood, who is secretly the local Klan boss, will kill them in the morning. The staff decline the offer. A visibly distraught and nerve-wrought Grace goads Remick and his army of vampires to attack the remaining survivors after Remick and Bo threaten to turn her daughter. The vampire horde rushes the juke joint and battles the remaining survivors. In the ensuing struggle, both Grace and Bo perish together in fire after Grace stakes Bo through the heart. Annie is bitten by Stack and Mercy killed by Smoke per her request. Delta Slim is viciously mauled and bitten to death by a mob of vampires in a bid to buy time for the rest to escape. The remaining survivors, consisting of Smoke, Sammy, and Pearline, attempt to escape the establishment through the upper floor, only to have their escape attempt thwarted by Remick and Stack. Smoke and Stack engage in a one-on-one fight, while both Sammy and Pearline battle Remick. Pearline is bitten in the process in an attempt to free a struggling Sammy against Remick, and urges Sammy to abandon her. Sammy successfully evacuates the juke joint and runs to a car to escape, only to be stopped by Remick once again. Remick offers Sammy one last chance to join his side, though Sammy breaks his guitar and wounds the vampire. A surviving Smoke arrives just in time to stake Remick. The dawn approaches, delivering the final blow to Remick and the rest of the vampires present, effectively concluding the horrors of the night prior. Smoke sends Sammy home, and reveals that Sammy's guitar was nothing more but a regular instrument, and not a Charles Patton's possession as Stack initially shared. True to Remick's prediction, Hogwood and a group of clan members arrive to reclaim the juke joint. Smoke engages the group in a firefight and effortlessly dispatches all assailants, but not before sustaining a fatal wound. In his final moments, a near-death Smoke sees Annie and their baby daughter in the afterlife, who encourages Smoke to join them. Smoke does so accordingly and succumbs his wounds. The scene shifts back to Sammy at the church, with his father urging him to renounce his love for the blues. Sammy refuses and drives north, guitar in hand. In a mid-credits scene set in 1992, an elderly Sammy, now a popular blues musician, is visited by a modern-day, ageless Stack and Mary. It is later revealed in a flashback that Smoke struck a deal with Stack for Sammy's freedom in exchange for Stack's life. The couple offers Sammy an opportunity at immortality, though Sammy declines. Stack requests Sammy to play a song for old time's sake, to which the musician obliges. In a final parting moment, Sammy confesses that although he still has nightmares about that evening, up until the sunset, it was the best day of his life. Stack agrees, as it was the last time he saw his brother and the sun, and the only time he felt truly free. The twins recruit other staff, pianist Delta Slim and singer Perline, with whom Sammy becomes enamored, as performers, Smoke's estranged wife Annie as cook, local Chinese married shopkeepers Grace and Bo as suppliers, and field worker Cornbread as bouncer. Smoke and Annie argue over her belief in the occult, as Annie insists her practices kept the twins safe, but Smoke bitterly reminds her that she couldn't stop their infant daughter from dying. Meanwhile, Stack reconnects with his ex-girlfriend, Mary, who passes for white. Mary resents Stack for abandoning her when he left for Chicago, which Stack claims was to protect her. Elsewhere, Irish immigrant vampire Remick flees from Choctaw vampire hunters and violently turns a married Klansman couple into vampires. At the juke joint's opening night, Sammy's music is transcendent, unknowingly summoning spirits of both, past and future, to join the entranced crowd. The performance draws Remick's attention, and he arrives with his minions, offering money and music for entry. Suspicious, the twins refuse entry, and the vampires wait outside. Mary, reminding Stack that the bar needs the income, meets Remick outside. She grows suspicious and tries to leave, but is turned. She returns inside, where she seduces Stack and lethally bites him. Smoke, upon discovering the pair, shoots Mary, but she is unharmed. She escapes as Stack dies. Cornbread is attacked by Remick and turned as well. Smoke closes the joint early and dismisses the patrons. They, as well as Bo, are turned upon leaving. Stack revives as a vampire, but Annie repels him with pickled garlic juice and he flees the joint. Annie deduces that their assailants are vampires and educates the survivors. Only sunlight, silver, or wooden stakes can kill vampires. They cannot enter a building unless invited, and killing Remick will not save or kill those he's turned. Although Remick shares the Horde's memories, their personalities remain intact. Still unable to enter the bar, Remick negotiates. He praises Sammy's supernatural talent, which drew him to the joint, and wants to use his skills to summon the spirits of his lost community. Remick claims that vampirism offers immortality, freedom, and escape from racism, warning that Hogwood, who secretly heads the local clan, plans to attack the bar at dawn. When the survivors refuse his offer, Remick and Bo threaten that they will go to Grace's home and attack her daughter, Lisa. Grace, desperate and furious, invites the vampires in to keep them away from Lisa. Sinners is a 2025 American horror film written, co-produced, and directed by Ryan Coogler. Set in 1932 in the Mississippi Delta, the film stars Michael B. Jordan in dual roles as twin brothers who return to their hometown to start again, only to be confronted by a supernatural evil. The film co-stars Hailee Steinfeld, Miles Caton in his theatrical film debut, Jack O'Connell, Wunmi Mosaku, Jamie Lawson, Omar Miller, and Delroy Lindo. Coogler began developing the genre film through his production company, Proximity Media, by January 2024, when Jordan was cast. Warner Brothers Pictures acquired distribution rights the next month following a bidding war, and casting for additional roles took place in April. Principal photography took place from April to July 2024. Longtime Coogler collaborator Ludwig Göransson composed the film's score and served as an executive producer. Sinners premiered on April 3, 2025, and was theatrically released in the United States on April 18th by Warner Brothers Pictures. The film received critical acclaim, with particular praise for Coogler's direction and Göransson's score, as well as the performances of Jordan, Steinfeld, Lindo, and Caton. Sinners has grossed over $236 million worldwide, becoming the fifth highest-grossing film of 2025. So guys, it was the review of today's movie Sinners 2025. Hope you liked the video and get a lot of information. If the video looks good, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.